We are joined by NKU head men's basketball coach Darrin in the building today. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, man. This is great.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here. First coach that we've had on set. So how about that?
There you go.
Yes.
Coach, period. So
I've got to add that to my list of short accolades.
there we go. Add it to the LinkedIn for sure. You and the Norse are going to be at Highlands Middle School today for Norse in the Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Let's dive into that before I ask you all of these crazy NIL questions and Dwyane Wade questions that I know they're looking forward to.
Of course. Yeah, no, Norse in the Neighborhood, we're trying to take our team. You know, we've got a unique situation. It's great that we're Northern Kentucky's team, but it's not an obvious area that's ours, right? You got Highland Heights, you got Fort Thomas. I live over in Villa Hills, Crestview. You know, there's all kinds of neighborhoods. We're bringing our team to different neighborhoods this summer. First stop is in Fort Thomas tonight. We're really excited to get to know our new guys. And in this world, James, as we all know, 7 new guys for us. Over half of our roster is foreign born. So we think it's important for our fans to try to get the jump start on getting to know our new team.
Yeah, for sure. And how big of a challenge is that with the NIL rosters flipping like crazy? You mentioned the 7 new guys, just getting guys in the building and going up against everybody else when it comes to the NIL side. And then when they get there, you got to get them familiar and comfortable, and not on the court, but off of it as well.
Yeah, we've tried to embrace just understanding that this is a one-shot deal every year, right? And you're just starting over. You hope you can retain some good guys. Your recruiting starts with trying to retain. But, you know, this year we only have 1 starter back, so we're going to have essentially a brand new team. And in some ways it's exciting because you're going out and you think that you're able to really narrow down and pinpoint these are exactly the needs that we have. And then you just got to figure out, are we in the ballpark money-wise?
Obviously, bringing in players is a huge piece, but you just mentioned the retention there. As a mid-major, how's the struggle when guys progress and play really well to have them not try to take that leap and keep them at NKU?
It's not a struggle. You just lose them. You just do. I mean, I think our league last year, the stat was of the 15 guys that made one of the all-conference teams, 14 of them left the league. Wow. And so it's kind of an assumption. And so, again, even in recruiting, we got a really talented freshman this year that I think maybe could help us a lot. There's no guarantees back to the sophomore year. So again, we just kind of take that one-year approach. How can we be the best team to win a championship this year in the Horizon League?
You mentioned you have, players from a variety of different backgrounds, Australia, Spain, Madagascar. I mean, what's the challenge like in bringing together a group that has such a diverse background, and also maybe what kind of benefit could that play to the team? You know,
one of the things about it is the foreign-born guys have come up in a definite system where they seem to kind of plug in some ways. Oftentimes a little better than the American guys, but great personalities. You learn a lot. I thought Madagascar was a kids movie. My kids were young when that was born. Apparently, it's a country.
It's instantly what I thought of. To be clear, yes.
And Donnie's been a terrific player for us, and so you get a lot of national team stuff in the summer. So like right now, we don't have 3 of them here because they're with their national teams, but it really makes for a great experience for our players, and it's been a lot of fun to coach them.
Does it feel like you're entering year 8?
No.
At NKU?
No, it's gone so fast. This is the longest my wife and I have ever lived anywhere. We love the area, and it doesn't feel like it's starting our 8th year. It's gone really fast.
Yeah, I was thinking 5-ish, and I'm like, no, it's year 8. Yeah, it's.
I guess that's good. No, not like let's get rid of this guy. He's been here too long.
No, I think it's good. I think that's. The NIL thing, is it like pre-post NIL in your mind? Like how you think of it that way?
It's almost like 2 kind of different times.
Different eras?
Yeah,
of
it really is.
Of how it, that's COVID in my mind.
Yeah, no question.
When COVID happened, time stopped, and then it's like, we're in 2026. So.
We kind of had 3. We had regular, COVID, and then now NIL transfer portal. So it's been a lot of transition in a short time.
Yeah, and the NIL element of it, How do discussions with the school go when you're like, hey, I'm competing with all of these other, it's tough. It's tough to do that, and you want to win, and you want to get guys, and I know that's, hey, we need more money to give players to get them here to Highland Heights.
It's a little hat in hand, right? and the one thing I'll say is we've got tremendous leadership, and Katie Short-Thompson, our president, is committed to athletics, is committed to our men's basketball team being successful in the Horizon League. So we've stayed competitive. We're not at the top. We're still working to get there financially. But, I think you saw when Jared was hired, right? I think you saw with what Richard went through last year and when the adjustment that Xavier has made. To some degree, there is you've got to be at a certain amount to make sure you're going to be competitive at the level that you want to be. Take the Final Four last year, right? All 4 of those teams, really good programs, spent really big. And the line that we always use is, if you spend the most money, it doesn't guarantee you have the best team. But if you're not competitive financially, it guarantees you have no shot to be good.
You mentioned potentially having a big-time freshman that could help this year with NIL. How do you manage spending that either in the portal or on incoming freshmen to either have that experience or the new guys?
Yeah, we've taken what we call a pro model, NBA model. So like the NBA draft was last night, right? And I know we're going to get to Dwyane Wade here in a second. You've got a max contract guy. You got a couple guys that you think are starters, maybe, that you're playing. Then there's sort of a rotation level, and then there's the rest of the roster, and we break it down that way from a percentage basis, starting with how much we have to spend. And obviously the most expensive guys are the guys that are producers already in college. And so for us, freshmen is sort of like a league minimum. We haven't gotten to the point like some of the high majors have where, you compete. We were talking about football quarterbacks before we went on air. We're not at that point yet. We're using that NBA model, and, so far it's given us a chance to be competitive.
You mentioned, too, just the roster turnover and all the new faces. Give me a name of one of the new guys to where fans might not be as, familiar with now, but by this time next year, they're going to be talking about.
It's a great question. I'm going to say Noah Pagato. Italian name, Australian-born, was at a Division II in Texas. Last year was at East Commerce State in Texas, a Division I, and a really skilled big guy that can play inside and out, but also a bruiser, really physically a strong interior presence, which is something we haven't had. We've had good length and athleticism, but I think he's going to bring us a little bit of physicality around the rim that we've been missing. So we're really excited about Noah.
For sure. Yeah, you mentioned the NBA, and so I do have to ask you. One, I didn't have it on my bingo card this week that Dusty May would be in the NBA for the NBA draft. Mm-hmm. Crazy. We were live were we live?
We were live.
We were live. I was going to say we were live. Yeah, it was in the 10 o'clock hour. Paul Fritchner was on the call here. We had to bring him in for the breaking news. What was your reaction to that news and him going to Dallas?
Not totally surprised. Kind of felt like Dusty might end up there at some point. The timing was a little interesting because the job's been open for a while, right? And we all kind of transitioned through. Seems like everybody's staying and has their team together. So I was a little surprised by the timing. Not surprised that he made the jump. And he's a guy that's very offensive focused. Tremendous offensive mind. And so, but like all levels, right? They're going to have to get some more guys in there besides Cooper Flagg to give him his best chance.
Can you imagine being the interim and taking over for Dusty right now at this time? Because that was that's where I went, is like, you want to keep that roster together.
Yeah.
Because they're talented and trying to hold the fort down when the head coach leaves in June.
So the interim was an assistant coach for me at South Carolina, Mike Boynton, former head coach at Oklahoma State. And so, Mike's been in the chair in a major conference, and I think will transition well. And I think the most important thing in today's world, think about this, those guys now are allowed to leave with the new rules if they want to. The portal reopens for them. So keeping somebody on staff that helped recruit them for any returning guys that they know, like Mike, is probably a really smart move on Michigan's part.
Yeah, one of the big talking points this offseason for college basketball as a whole was the expanded March Madness field. Mm-hmm. How does that affect or help a mid-major like Northern Kentucky or the rest of the Horizon League teams get into that dance?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think at all because the way it was explained to us, and I probably won't be able to do it justice, essentially you're going to get more high majors that get the at-large bids. And even if you qualify as an automatic qualifier at a mid-major, you're probably going to get bumped down to 16 and end up being in the play-in game. Now, the positive of that is you got a chance to win an NCAA tournament game, right, and advance, so to speak. And so that's kind of where it looks like it's headed. So I don't know that it helps the mid-majors that much. I think it's going to help get some power schools, more of them in.
I was worried you were going to say that.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's funny. We actually had the NCAA at our meetings, and when they explained it, one of our coaches said, well, it sounds like we're going to be a 16 no matter what happens. And they're like, well, not exactly. Yeah, kind of exactly. That's what you just described. So, that part doesn't change. It just takes away a little bit of the maybe if you had a great year, maybe if you get an upset win, you can get to a 14. Looks like that's going to be a little bit harder to do with the new format.
Got to get more 18 and 12 teams into the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got to. Right. Yeah, everybody can't wait to see them.
I have to ask you about Dwyane Wade. I've been teasing them like crazy. He's my favorite player, but they're a big LeBron fans, and rightfully so, who doesn't love LeBron. Dwyane Wade's my favorite player ever. So now that we have you here, I got to ask you about you have a D Wade story?
Oh gosh,
or 70.
It's a short segment. I think the thing that's most impressive about him, I'll tell you two quick ones. One, from a character standpoint, and obviously really gifted, but what really makes greatness, he was the first non-qualifier that was ever allowed to enter Marquette. And the reason that he got in was because the football coach at his high school, who had never coached him, but was a legend in Chicago at his school, wrote a letter to the president at Marquette, said this is one of the finest young men that's ever walked through these halls. He deserves an opportunity. He's a gifted athlete and an even better young man. Wow. And you look at the trajectory of Marquette University men's basketball because they're probably in the Big East today because Dwyane Wade got to come to Marquette. Okay. Old rules where, you had the Prop 48 set out his freshman year. The second one is, it's obvious in the practice. He's not playing his first year. He's sitting out. Man, this guy's pretty talented. We think we've got a pretty good player. The Milwaukee Bucks coaches used to come by practice quite a bit. And one of them came by and literally 15 minutes in the workout one day goes, oh, he's going to play in the NBA. And we're like, really? He's not eligible this year. Are you talking about this guy? He's like, no, I'm talking about Dwyane. He's going to play in the NBA. We're like, And so we all thought he was going to be good the more we coached him. And after hearing people like that say those kind of things, but to know that he's going to be in the conversation no matter what for best ever at his position, when you talk to people about all-time greats at the two-guard spot, I don't know if we saw that coming. And so really a great testament to him, and was great to coach, and is everything that you see. Really an awesome guy. How many dollars would you have if people like me, if you had $1 for every time someone like me asked you about Wade? I'd have a lot more. NIL would be flowing. A lot more. I wish I could tell you could barely walk and chew gum when we got him, and without my tutelage, he'd had no shot, but pretty talented guy and a great worker.
How does a player of that caliber affect how you handle coaching him as a coach on the staff?
Man, that is a great question. And I think one of the things I tell people all the time is I think one of the reasons more coaches don't have success is they don't know what it looks like. And we can't know that until it's shown to us. And he did that for me. He was a great player. I learned more coaching him probably than he learned from me. And so one of those things is also how to coach great talent, because that's not something everybody can do.
Absolutely.
He's Darrin Horn. Make sure you catch him today. Norse in the Neighborhood, 5:30 to 7 at Highlands Middle School. And also on the Rebound Rundown with Paul Fritzner. Yes. Look at Paul. He's ready. He's going to have the really tough questions. I have the D. Wade questions. I appreciate you coming in.
Great fit. Thanks for having me.